let's grab some cards and we'll do the, okay, I'm feeling to grab this other deck. Okay, let's grab this deck and we'll pull a card and see what the spiritual life topic is for today. What is my topic for the day? Okay, so the topic of the day is morning. The world awaits you. Morning. The world awaits you. So, I get an easy topic today. Oh my goodness. So every day we wake up and it's a whole new slate for whatever we're going to choose to do for the day. You can, like I said, we have free will. We can totally change our paths, totally change our direction. And it's up to us, really, what we're going to be involved with for the day, what we're going to bring forward for the day. Is it a day of relaxation? Is it a day that you want to present something to the world? Is it a day you're going to be in meditation? Is it a day that you're going to be still within? Is it a day you wake up and you're going to be confronted with something? Okay? Again, when we wake up, we have so many choices as to what we're going to do, where we're going to go, what we're going to involve with, okay? And some days are up and some days are down. You just never know what's coming. Like this morning, I have to say, in my own case, I can tell the weather is changing. And woke up and, oh my goodness, today was an Advil day. We'll put it that way. Woke up with so much pain in my spine this morning. I was diagnosed with arthritis in my back, like in my early 30s. I'm 71 now, so I've had a lot of years of arthritis. I just kind of don't pay it any attention. But this morning, woke up and I can tell that weather is changing. It's got a overriding sense of chilliness in the air. And man, my back was speaking to me this morning. It was not happy. So, okay, I'll make it a little happy and I'll take an Advil. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that was what was going on here. And then yesterday, picked up a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, and it really did have more in it in the beginning than I remember there was, that comes to the journey, partakes of the journey. Now, if you really want to get into the Advaita, then you want the following one after the Bhagavad Gita. Although in the Bhagavad Gita, I have to say, in where it's talking about more of the overview of what it is, it does get into that we are the divine is, okay? And so when I was going through the journey, so many years ago, when I had my brief time with the Krishna, Hare Krishna, and Prabhupada, etc., And it was Prabhupada that said that I would reach realization in this lifetime. So that was interesting. And I think it just kind of helped to spur to keep me going, you know. But looking back on it again now, you know, when you reach a certain level of consciousness, you go back and you see the teachings quite clearly. Whereas when you're going through it at the beginning, you're trying to make logical sense of what it is and what it's saying and how it relates, etc. So that's an interesting experience. I was going through the Bhagavad Gita last evening. And the first part of it actually does, you know, tell you as to what's there, okay? And then it goes into karma yoga and all these other factions, you know, karma yoga and bhakti. And I think that's the thing that my journey through there was showing me the avenue of bhakti, or surrendering to the divine. And I have to say it was fun, you know, while you're there, you get up in the morning and you're dancing in front of the deities, a lot of fun, okay? You get up and you dance, okay? Every morning you're up at 4 a.m., you know, before the sun gets up. And you come out and they're blowing the conch shells and they open the curtain and there are the deities, you know, and you dance, and it's just really, you know, was a lot of fun. Now the thing that Prabhupada said that always really stuck with me was that he knew more than what he was giving to people. Because what he said is people have to be attached to something. So let them be attached to Krishna. So he knew Advaita, was quite well versed in Advaita, but people are in duality. Since they're in duality and they have to be attached to something, they see this division, they haven't gone, they're not ready to go into Advaita beyond this division, let them be attached to Krishna. Okay, that's what he said. So he knew more than what he was giving out, okay? So I would have to say he was a realized being, but he gave out this being attached to this beautiful entity, persona called Krishna, okay, that would dance, you know, with all the gopis, okay? So again, when you're in the midst of the journey, okay, and you're still questioning things and trying to figure it out, and, you know, you're dancing, you know, in front of Krishna, etc., and the best food, I'm telling you, when Prabhupada was alive, it was the best. When he passed, they changed it all. It's now inedible, but when he was there, you could not have no chilies, no black pepper, nothing of spice in the food. Okay, that was forbidden. And the minute he died, they started bringing all the spice and everything in. And the reason that he wouldn't allow it, because you are giving it to Krishna first. It is prasad, it is holy food that you are taking. You know, so when you eat your food, you're supposed to do it with love, devotion, surrender, okay? That you see it as holy. It's prasad. It's been offered to God first, and God eats it first, and you get the remnants, is basically what it's supposed to be, okay? You get the remnants after the divine has had it, okay? So then it becomes holy. It becomes, you know, and the food was so great. But now, like I said, he'd be rolling over in his grave, and they're even doing that in Vrindavan. They're putting the chilies and stuff in, and you don't offer chilies. You don't offer chilies, black pepper. You don't offer garlic or onions to Krishna. That's just not supposed to be done. But they have unfortunately bastardized it, and they do that now, okay? But like I said, when Prabhupada was alive, that was absolutely forbidden. You would never, ever, ever think about doing such a thing, okay? The food was supposed to be pure. It was supposed to be, But anyway, yeah. Reading the Bhagavad Gita again, going through it, you can see you have a whole different, once one is completed and in realization, all these texts open up. When you're going through it, you understand the words with the logical mind, okay? But you can't put it together because you don't have that awareness. You're not living with that eternality, okay? And once everything deconstructs and one is living from that eternality, then everything falls into place. It's like, oh, well, yeah, And before that, you're going, what is a soul? What is a soul? What is that? And I think some of the words in it, when you're saying your soul, people, especially in the West, you have a false ideation that the soul the soul is wrapped up in persona, okay? It's a persona that continues forward, but it's not like that, okay? What one discovers in reincarnation, etc., it's not like a continuity. The next time one comes into life, you can develop a whole different persona, a whole different, vastly different cognition based on what are the experiences at hand. Now you come in with tendencies. One comes in with these tendencies, but based on what the experience is in that hand, you can develop a whole totally different persona, okay? And then when one leaves the form, one gets to go through that life and really look at the experiences, what one has gone, and, again, looking at your path going forward, looking at the path going forward. So there's a bit of a sometimes mistaken notion about reincarnation, okay? Now, some of the tendencies can be very, very strong. And we have children that come in that remember their past life up to a certain age. After a certain age, it kind of recedes. But they can be extremely aware of the past life, the past experiences, the past emotions, all of these things can be very paramount for some time, okay? So if you want to see the part, if you happen to be somebody on a bhakti path, or, again, it goes into karma yoga, all the different yogas, or, yoga means, yoking with, or, submersing into, all the different yogas and things. And about, in the beginning of it, the Bhagavad Gita, they're on the battlefield, and Arjuna is looking at he's looking at having to battle everyone that he knows. His relatives are on the other side, and he's like, I don't want to fight with them. And Krishna is telling, because, in India it's the caste system. you're a kshatriya, you're a warrior. This is what you're born into. This is, this is your life. And it wasn't back then that they could just decide, well, I don't want to be a warrior. That's not my mentality. That's not my energy. Yeah, I want to go play music. I want to be a musician. It wasn't an option, okay? Not an option, okay? So if you're born into that class, it's like this is your duty, okay? And so the beginning of it is talking about the continuity of life, that life is eternal, and that divine is. It actually says it in that first part, which, of course, when you're going through it and haven't entered realization, at first this is like goes right out of the mind, doesn't even compute at all. But basically it's saying, that divine has never been born and never died. Okay? It's never been born and never died. It's ever pure. So what does it matter, that you go out and have to do what you need to do? Fulfill your place in the world. You go forward and do that. Well, in realization, when everything deconstructs, that's immediately apparent. And I have a writing that I did that, never been born and you never died. It's an immediate known, okay? Absolutely clear as, but when you read it and you're in logical mind and feeling as a separate, you don't get it. You're like, what do you mean never born, never died? I'm here. What are you talking about? It doesn't this is not computing. But when everything deconstructs in realization, it's, the divine is. We are spirit, okay? We are spirit, and nothing can truly touch spirit, okay? Spirit is always pure, always holy, always complete. It's the mental framework which feels flaws, holds holes, HOLEs, instead of seeing the WHOLE, that one is always whole, okay, when one accesses the divine is, which is the very center kernel of being, all being, okay? So again, when one has gone through and comes to realization, all of these things are just so clear. Whereas, again, when one is doing the journey, one is in the mind of logic and duality, this feeling of separation, this feeling of the ego being a persona, being a limited, transitory, transient, limited being, that there is this trying to grasp and make reality what one is not feeling to be reality, okay? By faith, I'm going to trust this, But in realization, there's no faith, because it is absolutely clear as a bell. It cannot be denied, okay? It's going to a totally different consciousness, okay? So yeah, very interesting getting the Bhagavad Gita and then seeing it from a totally different viewpoint, coming back and really getting the import of what was being said. Now, like I said, that if you want to really get into, even though the Bhagavad Gita gives some, pointings as to this is where we're going, okay? And he's talking to Arjuna. Arjuna is more in the very beginning of his journey, the spiritual journey, Okay, he's at the starting point. And just before Krishna leaves this plane for the lokas, the heavenly realms, just before he leaves the earth plane, and when he leaves is the start of Kali Yuga, okay, where all of these things are hidden, where it's not so easy to access. If you're going to access it, then you've got to do the journey to break through, okay? That's another whole thing we could get into. And why Kundalini is needed, and why Ramana and the rest say Kundalini has to be open before realization takes place. What is Kundalini? Kali. You need the path of Kali, to the Kundalini, to break through to realization, okay? So again, Kali is so misunderstood, but there is so much wisdom. There are 50 skulls around her. Each of the skulls is one of the Sanskrit alphabet, okay? Bij mantras that open certain doors, okay? The demons that she fought, they are the skulls around her neck that she wears. They were liberated. As they entered their death, they were liberated. She liberated them, okay? So you have to understand, and the things that she used are prayer and observation, and, the things that she fought were anger, jealousy, all these different emotional dramas that come up. Really, if you understand Kali, you understand Kundalini, you understand that path, it's the path of, confronting, looking at. The last demon that she fought, which was the strongest, was what? Ego. The demon of ego, which creates all these other factions. And the path was, she'd cut off the head of one, then she would have the one part of her aspect would come and drink the blood. Now that sounds horrible, doesn't it? You cut off the head and she's drinking the blood before it sprouts, because what it's representing, that blood is representing thoughts. Okay? So she would take those thoughts and get rid of it before it had a chance to hit the ground and seed state into more thoughts. Okay? One thought, when it germinates, it creates 10 more thoughts. So she was showing the path that you get rid of that before it has a chance to manifest a bunch more thoughts, or jealousies, or angers, or whatever it is, the emotional drama that one is going through, and the mental hamster wheel. Really, if you look at her and you understand the Chandi path, it's very clear the path through Kali Yuga. How to access, how to go, how to move beyond it. And that's why I teach what I teach, the way that I teach for this day and age. Okay? So, again, getting back to Bhagavad Gita and Krishna, and what Krishna, now they say Krishna and Kali are very interrelated. Again, another one that a lot of people don't understand, because Krishna is what? He's blue. He turned blue because he got what? He got bit by the cobra. He got bit by a snake. Okay? And the poison turned him blue. Okay? So we can go into all of this, why that happened. He was put by a snake, okay? The snake is Kali Kundalini realization, okay? Takes on this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you can go into with all of this, but will suffice to say here, okay, that Krishna was, always playing the flute and happy and dancing with the gopis and, all of that, okay? So at the beginning, we have the Bhagavad Gita, and he's instructing Arjuna. Arjuna is at the beginning of his journey, okay? So he's instructing him. Now, just before Krishna leaves the earth, he's talking to Uddhava. Now, Uddhava is this very long time devotee. So he's giving him really the depth of the path, the depth of understanding, okay? The revealing of Advaita, okay? Gone beyond this whole journey, Uddhava's already done this whole journey and now has come to the point of Advaita, deconstructing into the divine is and that complete wisdom and knowing. And when one gets there, it's kind of like the universal joke. You're searching here and there and all over the planet, and you couldn't have gotten away from it if you tried, because it's part and parcel of one's being, okay? But because we have this false view that it's outside of us, and we have to go find it, we take this huge journey and we get to the end and go, oh my God, it's right here all the time. It's here all the time. It's present. It's within. Okay? It's within and without equally. And wherever we are at, if the one's mind is that it is a holy place, it is a holy place. Because God is not more in one place than another place. Wherever one is holy ground, if one opens to that divine is. Okay? So I think I'm going to leave this here for now. Oh my goodness, how did that morning thing wind up from there to here? I never know what the universe, I thought this was going to be such an easy one. And what a journey it took us on this morning. Okay. I never know what's going to come through. The thing comes up, open mouth, it proceeds out of mouth. Okay, well, that's okay. Oh, mercy. But I hope you've enjoyed this, got something from it. If you would like to hear some of the things in the Bhagavad Gita or the Uddhava Gita, let me know. You wanted to have some commentary, whatever, go through some of these texts. Again, let me know if that is of interest, to any. So thanks for tuning in, love and light. What are you going to do with your life this morning, with your journey? Where are you going to journey to today? What are you going to encounter? Okay? Where are you going to put your consciousness? Is it in the higher things? Or are you going to jump on the hamster wheel of mind spin and be stuck there today? Okay? You don't have to buy a ticket to that ride. We have the right and the ability to step off of it into more clarification and expansion, okay? And that's why I have the group, the Energy Connection, for those that are wanting to get off the hamster wheel into more expansion. Isn't that right, Mr. Max? What do you have to say about that? Oh, give kisses. Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice, Mr. Max. I'm getting the doggy stare this morning. You giving me the stare, Mr. Max? We got the ears. He does the ears. It's so cute. I know what you want. I know what you want. You want to go for the ride. You want to go ride the car? Yeah, that's it. He says, I want to go ride the car. Can we go for the walk today? Can we go out? Because it's cool out there. I can actually do the walk today. So I think I'm going to get these two ready. Oh, yeah, look who's come up now. She's wearing her BFF sweater this morning. You want to show them your BFF? What's it say on there? Mama's BFF. Mama BFF. So I'm going to get these two ready. I think I'll put a little sweater on Mr. Max this morning as well, because it's actually a little nippy out there this morning, which is good for Mr. Max, because when the weather's too hot, over 77, he gets stressed. He can't walk very far. He gets very stressed. And so when it's cooler, he loves it. He can go on his walk and enjoy it and not get stressed. So on that note, I'm going to take these two little four-leggeds out for a quick walk. They do enjoy that. And I'll be back, and I'll see you online.